Hello everyone. We continue with Act 3, Scene 2. We stopped with Antony telling the crowd that he will not wrong the honorable men, he would rather wrong the dead Caesar, himself, and the citizens. Antony has a few trump cards up his sleeve, and now he employs one of them. He produces a parchment from under his robe and displays it in front of the crowd. He says, if only they knew what a large heart Caesar had and how much a well-wisher of theirs he was. He says, it is Caesar's will and they are all his heirs. Of course, he will not read it out to them. He cannot take the responsibility of their actions after they hear the will. He says he knows that they cannot control their grief and anger once they hear the will, and that will go against the well-being of those honorable men. This is a master stroke by Antony, and it has excited their curiosity. The citizens loudly demand that the will be read out to them. Antony gently turns their attention to the dead Caesar. Don't they want to see the man who made the will? And ask them to form a ring around Caesar's body. He is the expert showman now. He touches the blood-stained mantle on Caesar's body and says, if you have tears, prepare to shed them now. This mantle was worn by Caesar after he overcame the Nervi, a Belgic tribe. Festivals were held to mark the victory, and the citizens perhaps remember that. Now he points out at the different blood-dried holes in the mantle and reconstructs the terrible act of murder by pronouncing each well-known names. Here Cassius' dagger ran through, he says. Here it was envious Cascas. And then Brutus. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. When the noble Caesar saw Brutus stab, it was his ingratitude that affected him more than his deadly dagger. Then burst his mighty heart, and muffling up his face in his mantle, even at the base of Pompey's statue, great Caesar fell, bleeding profusely. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you and all of us fell down, while bloody treason flourished over us. The mob is moved to tears. Now, with a dramatic sweep, Antony tears off the mantle from Caesar's body. Cries and sobs break forth, and these end up in a wild cry for revenge of the murderers of Rome's greatest man. Even the will is forgotten. They cry, revenge, seek, burn, fire, kill, slay. Let not a traitor live. By now, the honorable men have become traitors in their eyes. Antony has not finished yet. He tells them to be calm. He says he can't stir them up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. He will be doing a wrong to those honorable men. God knows what private griefs they had against Caesar. He says he is not capable of provoking them. He is just an ordinary man. For I have neither wit nor words, nor worth, action nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. All he could do was tell them what they already knew, show them sweet Caesar's wound, which spoke for him. Had he been Brutus and Brutus Antony, then that Antony could have ruffled up their spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise in mutiny. The citizens are extremely kindled, and they shout out they will mutiny and seek the conspirators. Antony intervenes again and says, why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your love? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then, you have forgot the will I told you of. They cry, the will, let's hear the will. Antony reads out that Caesar has bequeathed 75 drachmas to each and every Roman, and he has left them all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards for them and their heirs to enjoy and recreate. Then Antony asked them, "Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?" "Never, never," they cried. The enraged citizens seized firebrands to burn the body of Caesar in the holy place and then smoke out the conspirators out of their houses. They cry, "Go, fetch fire! Pluck down benches, pluck down forms, windows, anything." Antony's work is done. He quietly says, "Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what cost thou wilt." At this hour of triumph, word is brought that Octavius Caesar is already in Rome and that Brutus and Cassius have ridden out like madmen through the gates of Rome. Mission accomplished for Mark Antony.